Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the broadcast on this first day of July 2024. Welcome to Peter Mwa Media. Of course, we are doing in collaboration with Mahanaim College. We are coming you live from Mahanaim College, courtesy and sponsored by Spin Graphic Creations as well. And what a day to discuss what transpired yesterday on the presidential joint media interview at State House, hosted by three renowned journalists, Eric Latif, Joe Ageo, and of course Lena's Kai Kai. And I have a panel packed to unpack the sentiments of the head of state in regards to the ongoing protest by Generation Z, and we are here to make sure that no stone is left unturned. And just on my immediate right is Bathsheba Evans, and to his to our left rather is Charles Omemo, as well as Zelfa Wahito, and on my far right is Samuel Foros. So ladies, gentlemen, welcome to Peter Mwa Media. And yeah, we are here to just basically have a discussion about the young people and the ongoing protests that are scheduled for even this week. But before we get to the protest, I want first of all to welcome you to the broadcast. Karibuni sana. And I want to get your reactions, all of you, in regards to, first of all, before we get into the nitty-gritties of what the president said yesterday, what is your take? Let me start with you, Beth, on this one. So what is your take from the entire presidential interview or yesterday?
Okay, my take on the presidential roundtable that we had yesterday, everything he said, for me, it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Like, yeah, like he always lies. Yeah. So, I don't see anything sensitive that he said yesterday. First of all, he's not remorseful for anything. Yeah. It's just a lie.
Wow, for the Sheba he just lied yesterday. Straightforward, straight to the point. As well, let me bring Charles to the discussion. Your take on what the president said yesterday.
Only one word. It was punitive. Yes, that's all.
It was punitive. The whole discussion for you, it was punitive. Great. Right. One thing with the young people, they are straight to the point. And let me also get the reaction of Zelfa on this one. So, what do you think is your takeaway from what the head of state said yesterday?
What I would say, this man is a psychopath. He's arrogant and he doesn't have a heart. Yes.
All right, we will get to the substantiation part where you say he's arrogant, he doesn't have a heart, and we say that he's the heart of the hustlers. That is what he said in the campaign trail. But before we get to the discussions, like I've said, let me also bring someone on this one. So what is your takeaway from what the head of state said yesterday in the joint media interview?
Well, for me, he was just yapping.
He was just yapping?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was answering nothing. Because you can't be asked a question and then you take us to another direction. So, just yapping his mouth there, wasting time for those journalists. Maybe they could be doing something else. I could be watching a Churchill show that day. Wow. That's it.
Right. Well, I must say that at this point we have, of course, I'm sure we'll get to the supporting part of why you were saying the points that you're saying. But in the front page of the dailies from the Star, we are seeing that the KDF will not be in the streets if protesters are peaceful. That is the president, what he said yesterday. Basically, I'm just trying to look at the captions of what the president said yesterday. And of course, Ruto refutes Gachagwa's claim on lack of intelligence. We have seen the rift between the head of state and the deputy. We'll discuss about that. As well as Ruto faces hostility in defending police brutality. And I want us to begin on the police, for example, and the manner in which the police handled the protesters. Do you think they acted in the best interest? Because the president said the police acted in the best way they can. Beth?
I don't think that what they did was right, because from the beginning the protesters were very peaceful. Okay, let's take for example the case of Rex, the first person to die. The protesters only came with placards, handkerchiefs, water. So why were the police killing them? So I don't see No, the police weren't fair at all.
They were using excessive force, as you say.
Yeah.
All right. So, Charles, were the police, and because the president is very clear on why the police acted the way they acted. In a case that I could quote from him, he said yesterday, for example, there was a young boy who was shot in Rongai, and he was shot multiple times. And the president said the crowd contained some rogue protesters, criminals who turned against the crowd, and the police had to do what they did to rescue further damage from destruction of property, and of course people could have lost more lives if they never acted in the same manner that they did in Rongai and many other places. From where you sit, do you think the police have been at the forefront in maintaining law and order, or they used excessive force in containing protesters?
I would say they have used excessive force, and I can say that, let's take up the Rongai kid.
Yes.
How do you shoot a 12-year-old boy 8 times? 8 times. If he was part of the protest, 2 bullets, 8 I work, but 8 on a young boy, how is that possible? We have to look at moral ethics. Hata wewe mwenyewe ukiona mtoto mdogo apigwa risasi tano. Look at Rex Masai.
Yeah.
He had no weapon. He was actually running away, not towards the police. He was running away from the police, trying to escape them. And we saw live footage of a police shooting towards the crowd, right? Which is not right, even according to our moral ethics understanding. So the police have used excessive, and I'll say, what is above excessive? That is, excessive. They have used a lot of force on peaceful protesters. And if they say mambo na parliament Tuesday, they are the one who started all this. People were very peaceful. At 11 a.m. people were peaceful until they shot one person. Remember, at 11 a.m., around 12 a.m., somebody was already dead. 12 p.m., sorry. Someone was already dead, right? So they are using a lot of force to try to make people's voices silent, which is very wrong, according to my understanding.
All right. And Zedfa, so the president said the protest has been invaded by criminals, and that is why the police actually acted in the manner that they did. So from your end, do you think that it is a case of criminality, or it's a case of the president trying to cover for the police?
As I said, this man is a psychopath. Because there's no way you can tell me somebody who has sense, who has 5 senses, will say that, would actually try to say that, not actually try to say, he said that the police were doing their best they can. That's not their best. These people are supposed to be protecting us, not harming us. The protest was very peaceful. So I did not see the sense of using, if they wanted to scare the protesters away, they could have shot in the air. That was enough to scare them away.
Yes, they did in Mombasa, for example.
Exactly. Why do you have to take a gun and shoot somebody who has nothing to harm you? The protesters didn't have any guns, any weapons that could have harmed the police. So I don't get, they did not do what we expected as Kenyans for them to do. They did opposite. And the fact that the president is there covering the murder cases and saying that it was criminals who are, now he's calling us criminals. Because if there are criminals, he's the one who paid the criminals to come and destroy the protest. Are you getting me? So me, I think it was not good, whatever they did, and the fact that the president is trying to cover up, it was not good.
All right. We don't know whether the president paid the criminals to come. But Samuel, so the president said at the point they had to call the Kenya Defense Forces, it's a situation where the police were overwhelmed and just trying to get a reaction on the police brutality. We have seen scenarios where some property was vandalized and some young people invaded parliament and other areas. So would you rather say it was a case of the Gen Z have gone overboard, or it was an issue of the police in retaliation when they were shooting live bullets?
Okay, for me I can say, first of all, the reason why in Kenya most protests are not peaceful, it's because the police start using their power. You get? So, when it comes to, when the police is throwing that tear gas, we don't have any problem. But now you get, but because you are making us angry, we now throw it back. So you find that at some point that these protestants are angry, so they go to vandalize the properties that they are being taxed to make it. Like the parliament, you can find they vandalized many properties there, like whatever and whatever, but you will find, like I saw a video somewhere that someone said that let him be taken to the cell because he's the one who's paying the tax, and that's a home to him.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, that's a home to him because he's the one who is paying the tax, and he's the one those taxes that he's paying are the ones that are building the cells. So I can say the deployment of KDF, saying that the police were overwhelmed, it's the police, they didn't know what to do, because using excessive power, like the police who killed Rex, I saw a video that he shot and got into a car and ran away.
Okay.
And also he's out there roaming around, breathing, knowing he's killed someone. You see? So I can say that I see the deployment of KDF was just to scare people.
Just to scare people.
Yeah.
All right.
It,
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just to
Proceed.
help the police, because the police, they were not doing their work. But also the deployment of KDF was just to scare people.
Yeah.
I also like to add a point.
Okay.
It's not only the protesters who are shot at by the police, even journalists.
Yeah.
Remember when journalists were trying to cover the people who are being taken by the police?
Yeah.
Then this cop just decided to shoot maybe a rubber bullet or whatever. Like straight, not even like 5 meters or 2 meters away from where he is. And he just gets in the car and leaves.
Even a case of where the Red Cross and the... Yes.
I would also like to add, the police feel entitled to whatever they are doing right now, because they were given that when the president was getting into it, was when he was getting into power, he said that the police have the authority to protect themselves from people. Now when they are shooting against the protestants, they feel they are entitled to do that. So they are not doing it scared. They are doing it knowing that I am entitled to do that, and that's so wrong.
And also to add on a point on that, yesterday the president said an independent, was it an independent something, independent running government?
Yeah.
Because if you say an independent running government and you include the police there, so they interpret it wrong. They use the power excessively because they have the guns and whatever, the authority, because they have the power. So that's where you come, and he was saying about communication. So if you say communication, you are interpreting the wrong details to us. So I can say, yes, yesterday's roundtable was just...
whatever that means. So we and of course we have seen the president say that if there are police who are rogue and they used excessive force, they will law is take his case and they will be prosecuted in a court of law. But there is an issue of trust deficit, and we saw the journalist, to be precise, I can quote Linus, who said that Mr. President, a lot of Kenyans do not associate you with the truth. And of course we all heard what he replied, and the follow-up from the Standard Media Group journalist, Eric Latius, asked the president when he will stop lying. And so this out publicly calling the president a liar did not begin yesterday. Do you think there is a trust deficit? Has the president been speaking from both ends of the mouth? Has he been lying to Kenyans? Let me hear your sentiments, Beth, on this one.
The president has always lied. There's nothing he has ever said that has been put on hand, which is true.
He promised hustlers jobs. He has secured jobs abroad. He told them to go abroad.
We want jobs in Kenya.
Yeah, not abroad. And then another thing, he's talking about, kwake, vitu yenye anasema amefanya, it's only raising hii inaitwaje fertilizers, which is fake fertilizer yenye tuliona ikiletwa Kenya. Haya, nini ingine akasema he is providing job opportunities.
Yes.
Job opportunities zenye ameprovide ni hizi ya housing, hiyo
housing program.
Yeah. By which he forced that thing into Kenyans. Hakuna mwenye alikuwa anataka hii mambo ya housing levy. So anataka kusema that's the only job yenye ame-offer. Because anasema sijui nini alikuwa anasema like jobs have been offered
Abroad,
yeah,
and Kenyans are not applying for
jobs.
Lakini me, I don't see anything that he says is true. Hata
also-
hiyo conversation
Just
yake
hold on,
jana. Ni nini alisema ya ukweli ni ulisikia? Just tell me one.
I'm asking the question. Okay, all right. Then you put me on spot. But okay, let me hear your colleagues about the trust deficit, and you see the way Kenyans view the head of state, and you know the reputation of the head of state is very important, especially when he speaks to like the younger generation. When they see him as a liar, it poses serious reputational hazard to his office. Do you think the situation is that the president is a liar?
Yes, and I will back it up. Okay, let's start with the exporting labor.
Yes,
exporting
abroad.
labor. I cannot have a degree or a master's or a PhD as a young person and apply for work in Germany to go and wash streets, to go and be a housemaid, to go and be a watchman, where I will be mistreated by those people. Maybe like the case in Saudi Arabia, people always coming back saying that uko utaenda uko utapigwa, they will pay food. So there was no need for me to apply for that job. Even for the housing project. Why should I have my own degree in maybe law, then go there and kwanza kubeba mawe kupeleka fourth floor? It doesn't make sense. And I would say we have lost a lot of trust in the government because he has always been saying we have jobs for you, we have this cyber thing that he's always saying we are going to mambo na I would also say hii mambo ya kusema tumetenga bilioni. When he came into power, there's one thing that he said and I've always waited for it till date.
Please go on.
Alisema gas itakuwa 600 ama 800. I was very very eager. It was last year September.
Yes.
He said gas itashuka.
Yes.
And I was very eager to go and buy gas at 600, 800. Sahi, your gas, I think it's 1300 or something. 1600.
And the 13 gauges is almost 3100.
Yeah. Imagine. So we want to see you promise and you do.
And you do it.
Don't just say tumetenga bilioni ya kujenga barabara ya kutoka Sagoi hadi Gelegele. We want to see the road. Just we don't want to see ati unasema tu. So we want to see what they say actions speak louder than words. So you say it
and you do
it.
All right.
And the leader if you want to be a great leader, there's something you have to do. You have to remain silent, listen, and see, then do.
Exactly.
Don't keep talking. He's everywhere. He's in China, talking. He's in Korea, talking.
Okay.
He's in US, talking.
And doing nothing.
He's in Egypt, Egypt, talking.
Crying.
He's
no,
just saying,
Egypt, he went to cry.
Just hold on, Zephyr.
What he's saying is, my state visit in China was to bring, machinery, and it's being manufactured now. When was he in China? Since then, till now, they're still manufactured. We want to see it. We just don't want to hear. Our dads are always hearing, and they're always comfortable hearing.
They're okay hearing.
Tumesema, tutafanya hivi na hivi. Mr. Didmas Baraza.
Yes.
I think last year, he posted a school where he was supposed to finish the school. A few days ago, he posted the same school. Nothing has happened.
Yes.
The same building, same everything. Nothing has happened. And he's there saying, we are at our last touches. How is that helping?
All right.
Yeah, so we have to see actions.
Okay.
If we see actions from now henceforth, or whatever will happen, if we see projects happening, not just being said, we will be okay. And if you see infrastructure not being wasted, money tupa tu huku kule huko, nasikia tu huko amepeana 20 million, that church is receiving, I don't know how many, that church is receiving 5 V8, and Mama Mboga is there going to pray to that bishop, nataka na ya party. So we want to see that.
Right, let me wow, interesting. Wow. So Zelfa, you called the president a psychopath. Is this still a liar? From where you say, because we are addressing the question of trust deficit and the way Kenyans perceive him and his actions and his words. So you've called him a psychopath. Is he a liar to you?
Yeah, he's a liar. Because as Charles has said, you have to, whatever you say, whatever you promise people, you have to do it. I have a problem with the fact that he borrowed money, and then we don't see where the money is going to. If you're borrowing money and we have a project that is going on in Kenya currently, that's okay. If now he imposed tax on the finance bill, raising tax is not an issue. People paying tax is not an issue. But what are you doing with our money? We want to see what you're doing with our money. If you're raising tax, we want to see the roads are being made, the hospitals, the public hospitals are well built, the schools are well built. That's what we want. He's a liar because he says we shall do, in 1 week time we will do, and he's not doing that 1 week time. If you say 1 week time, it's 1 week time. If you say it's a month time, it's a month time. Do it so that we can believe you. If you're not doing it, how do you expect us to believe you? The government has been corrupt. Governors are being given money to do a certain project in their counties. They are not doing. The money is ending up in their pockets. How do you expect us to believe that government?
I would like to correct a point.
All right.
We cannot say we are not seeing where the money is going. We are seeing where the money is going.
In their pockets.
Mr. Su, I do not want to mention names.
I will mention names.
Right. But how can you drink a 400,000
Yeah.
400,000?
Buy a car.
How can you have a 40 million Range Rover?
And there is a common mwananchi there outside who doesn't have money.
Right.
And you're here posting for us to say.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Gen Z speaking. So, Samuel, so trust deficit. Kenyans have sort of, because I was following the discussion on X yesterday when the presidential interview was going on, and people, whenever he's saying, they are saying wongo, akiongei wongo, akiongei wongo. So, is the president speaking lies from where you sit?
Literally everything he was speaking yesterday was lies, total lies. Because you can see about jobs from abroad. Like, we take a scenario from the United States. Right now they are in the election period.
Yes.
And Donald Trump on his debate said that he's going to chase those people who are illegally or legally in that country to go back to their countries. Let me tell you, if you are going to tell us that we are going to do jobs in America, in the diaspora, and then when we are back, do you want to tell us that you will return those jobs that we had in US? No, you can't. So you telling us that we are going, those trips that you're going outside there, they are going to look for jobs for Kenyans and what? The scenario, if Donald Trump takes again the seat, ole wao wenye wako huko majuu wanarudi tu Kenya, they will be jobless. And where will they get the tax if you are jobless? Ndio nataka tu tax kila mahali. And then the other thing is that I heard somewhere that we are going to borrow 1 trillion.
1.2 trillion.
Yeah, to pay the debts. Borrowing and debt.
It's the same.
How are you reducing the deficit that we have in Kenya? How are you reducing it?
Say that the loans which were taken, they are maturing now. That's why they have to borrow.
You can't borrow to pay someone. Yeah. You know, like it's like you do, ni kama ufulize alafu ulipe mshwari.
Okay.
What's that?
Wow. All right.
Then itakutoka kweli.
What a comparison. Okay.
It won't. You'll remain with debts.
Yeah, true.
You see?
All right.
So he was talking absolutely
Nothing.
Lies. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. I don't know how to react on that one. So let's focus. So the president, I can read from the president actually X wall, and he said that President Ruto invites youth to X Twitter Space Dialogue on Thursday, July 4th, or Friday, July 5th, 2024. Basically, the president is now telling the young people, okay, we have heard you. You have told us we don't want anything to do with this one. We don't want to hear anything about the finance bill 2024. Let's talk, right? So Kenyans have been invited to speak, and it appears that Gen Z will speak to the president through the X space. So first of all, do you trust the discussion? Do you think there will be a solution now from the discussion?
He'll just come with the lies, like he always does, mtukufu lies. Yeah, and I don't think we'll benefit from the talk. We'll pour out our hearts to him, vile anasema nataka tukae chini to discuss, but I don't think atatusikiza. Because first of all, he's a dictatorship. He is a dictator, that man.
What makes you say that he's a dictator?
Yeye mwenyewe hata yeye mwenyewe alisema. When you tell him something, anakwambia I'm the leader. What do you expect from that? Yeah, so I don't think we'll gain anything kumwongelesha. What he just needs is to step down as a president. Hatumtaki.
Go to Sungoi.
Yeah. Hata tutaki conversation, ende tu home. Arudi Sugoi.
Kalale.
Yeah.
Any motor.
Jesus Christ. All right. So Charles, the president has invited dialogue. So do you think dialogue is the solution?
It's 2 weeks down. 24 people dead.
He said 19.
Some are 19.
And to end back on
This
that,
man is a psychopath.
Just hold on. Let's give Charles.
And 34 people missing. 34, 39
My Lord.
people missing.
But none abduction.
Yes. But it's too late if you ask me. And if the Gen Z fall for this,
Yeah.
not stupid, we are done. Because I don't want to say we know Ruto, because we don't know
We
Ruto.
don't know.
Mr. Ruto. But he was accused, or maybe he was, the 207 blah 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 saga. He was in Hague. So we don't know his true colors. On Tuesday, the night when people entered parliament, he was like, you people are criminals and we will deal with you. The next day is like, we have listened to our children, we want
Our sons and
dialogue
My daughters and sons.
and all this stuff. So this dialogue, it's not that it's going to help us, right? Because he's like, at this one hand, these people are criminals. On this other hand, these people are our sons and daughters. Right? Yesterday he said that he will do everything, that all those people who were in parliament yesterday, they will be in court today. Right? We want to see if they have caught anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to see these criminals
police.
who are
The
killing
police,
people,
yeah.
the police, the rogue police.
And the police.
We want to see them in police custody, in the court of law, and also receiving their what? Their statements.
Their verdict of
Yes.
whether they are criminals or not.
So the discussions, they will not help. One, that I believe, they will not help. And if people go for it,
They're stupid.
we all done.
Okay, so Zephyr, President, he says now, let's come and talk. Why do you think people should not go and talk to the president?
2 weeks ago, before the maandamano started, we had given him a chance of dialogue, but he refused. He refused to listen to us. Now he has waited for people to die so that we can have a dialogue. Is this man okay? He's not okay mentally. How do you wait for people to die so that you want to have a dialogue with? There is nothing to talk about. The moment people died, it was not all about the finance bill. It is now it's all about for him to move from the chair and go home. There is no time for talking. There is no time for negotiating that we want this, because either way, if we say we want this, he's going to do what he wants, because he believes he's the president. He can do whatever he wants. So there is no time for negotiating. There is no time for dialogue. He should just just pack and go home.
To add on
Hashtag.
that,
Ruto must go.
Yeah.
Not Ruto must go.
okay, regarding Gachagua,
Yeah.
this time he made a statement saying that the president didn't know anything is happening the time we had this mandamano,
Yeah.
when he started it. But
See,
the president, yes.
The
but the-
NSA failed to advise the president.
Then yesterday the president said he knew what was happening. So he was quiet the whole time. He knew what was happening. He let people die and he wasn't saying anything. And then right now he wants to talk.
And he was not even sorry for
Yeah.
that the people died.
Ni nini tunaongea?
Right. Okay. Nothing to talk about. So your colleagues somewhere have said they do not welcome the discussion. So the president has basically called people to the talking table and say, let's have a discussion. Let's talk about the issues affecting the young people. Let's be part of the solution, not part of the problem. From where you sit, do you think the dialogue and the invite by the president, do you think it will sort of now sort the situation and we'll move forward as a country?
First of all, if I'm the one being sent an email to be invited to that talk, first of all, nitaongezea blanketi kwa nyumba because I won't go. I'll go to listen just nothing, literally nonsense. Cause you can't open a dialogue after 2 weeks and then day one of maandamano, the Rex died, and he said he's the one who took the gun. He took the gun and started shooting to the other protestants, like we are shooting at each other.
But proceed.
No, yeah, Rongai. And then this guy, first of all, he doesn't know how many people are dead. And he was asked a question about the 13-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid, if how he will tell how will he sympathize with the family, and he said that the boy is alive, and then the journalist said no, he isn't alive. And then he said, oh, he's the one who's dead. He doesn't even know who's dead. And how a 12-year-old kid, imagine a 12-year-old kid, like if it reaches to this point, killing children, and because of a simple a finance bill, because you want to pocket money, you want to have many money, whatever, unataka kujaza mfuko wako juu ya pesa, and killing children, it's just a shame. And also he talked about this political culture on going to churches, the Harambe.
Yes.
He
Said
said,
he will stop that one.
yeah, he said that he will stop that one. And literally yesterday he went to Narok. Like he just appeared. Hadi si ile invitation ile tu chope imeshuka kwa nini? Kwa shamba imefika kanisa. And also I've read today in People's Daily that Rachel Ruto, his wife, cancelled his plan to go to the church yesterday. So it means even bana hadi pale nyuma anaangalia pale familia pia hadi anaona inakataa like this guy is not human.
Thank you. It's not.
There's a hashtag going around saying you cannot kill us and rule
And
us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you kill us
and
but
go.
hapo chini hapa. So it's either you kill us and you go or
Upote.
Right. So we have just 2 minutes to finish the discussion now. So what's the way forward? Now let's just, as our parting shot, what do you think is the way forward? Because this week we have lined up 7 days for honoring the people that fondly, met their death, untimely death, and there will be more protests tomorrow and Thursday as well. What's the way forward? Because this can get out of hand and possibly more lives could be lost. What's the way forward? Just 2 minutes as we conclude.
Yeah, like I've said, he should just step down from his seat and the home. Because we don't want him, we don't want his government, we don't want anything to do with him. He's not a leader to us anymore. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Charles, what's the way forward?
okay, for me, I will say that we need to see these MPs, these people stop. Wacha kutumia pesa hivi hivi. No, pesa ni kitu ya maana. We are graduating so that we can chase that money.
Yes.
Because we don't have that money.
Yeah.
So they have that money, which they did not get it rightfully, but they are using it like it's their own. Kuku, kukule, kuku. The Thika MP saying that she has gathered
enough for her family.
She has gathered for the ancestors and the ancestors and the people who are to come. What is that? And it's tax money.
Okay.
So I go buy a sweet, tubo bimeanda huko, yeye anaenda kukula hiyo tubo. Badala ajenge barabara. Another thing I would like to tell the president, he's saying that the police is an independent body. Fine. It's an independent body. But who is the elder? Who is the leader? If people are dying, no unaona hii inaenda mbaya. Can't you just go and tell Mr. Kome, hey, relax. Don't kill these people. These are our children, these are our kids. But he's there shouting, talking his lungs. These people are criminals. Vunja, fanya kinotaka, walete. It does not work like that. So it's either he does what he's supposed to do, ama, and he's there saying, I am the president of this republic, and I will do what I feel is right for Kenya. We do not want him to do what he feels.
Yeah.
We want him to do what we feel,
Yeah.
because we gave him the power.
Yes.
Without us,
There's nothing.
I know did I remind.
Zelfa, so what is the way forward? What is the way forward?
Therefore, I'm not happy about the mandamano going on. I'm not happy about people dying. So the way forward is the whole government, not just Ruto, the whole government. Anyone who has been in politics before Akina Babu Owino, Akina Sakaja, anyone, they should go home and let us have a new government, new freshly government. Because I don't feel like if Ruto goes, the rest will remain. And the rest are corrupt. So we will be going 50 steps backwards instead of going forward. So the only way is the whole government to go home.
The president should dissolve everything and we should start afresh. All right.
Yeah.
And of course we'll keep on discussing because we do not have an independent electoral commission body, but there are other provisions because Kenya is a member of international communities which can be overseen by other international communities like AU and all that. But what's the way forward, Samuel? Let me finish with you.
First of all, I'd like to go with Zelfa's opinion. Like every leader right now, come 2027, we need a fresh start. Like no leader, hata ikuwe ni kwa ofisi ya chief.
Asikuwe ni mwenye alikuwa kitambo.
Asikuwe ni mwenye, yani we clear everything, you know. And if you're blindfolded come 2027 by these guys who are in the government, we are heading on the wrong side. Because hatutakuwa tunashinda tukisema corruption, and then we are the ones who are choosing them again to be there, you know. So, and first of all, by imploring the finance bill, like hapo hadi kama ni advisor alikuwa na advice man aliuma nje like they didn't think like hadi yeye mwenye na advice anajua tu atalipa tax, si ati atalipa
boycott.
Yeah. How can you advise someone like to tax heavily among Kenyans? So the other, by employing that, and kama niye mtamrudisha tena, mi hadi acha nikwambie, kama niye mtamrudisha tena 2027, if finance bill yenye mmekataa ndio atajaribu atairudisha hiyo mwaka na ataua watu wengi zaidi hata kuliko saa hizi.
Another thing I'd like to add is you should scrap off these stupid offices. How he's saying that the CS offices is blah blah blah, but these guys are still receiving cash.
The CS.
Yes.
The CS, yeah.
The office of the first lady, second lady, that lady. Anapokea tu.
Alright. Therefore, as we wind up the discussion,
I would like to talk your story office. I would say isitolewe. It should be there. It should be there, but the people should be paid according to the work they are doing.
all right.
If they're not doing any work, then it should go. But if they're doing something, let them get paid.
Right. We cannot exhaust this discussion, and because of time, I would like to Thank you so much for making time to speak on Peter Mama Media, and of course we will keep on this discussion. Of course there is a lot of things that we have not tackled, but we are getting news that tomorrow's protest will be on as planned, and
We are very ready for Tuesday.
there's an hashtag trending on X, very ready for Tuesday.
Very ready.
You guys are going for the protest.
Yes.
All right.
I can't miss
Hata
that.
switi ikiwa free kwa duka bado tunarudi maandamano.
Thank
If Ruto
you.
is still there,
Alright.
lazima atoke.
So the
Lazima
pro
ashuke.
okay, sawa sawa.
Hadi Christina Shusho ameimba za kashuka.
Ashuke ende home.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gen Z, they put it straight as they see, as they hear without fear of any contradiction. I must thank the panel with me that has helped us to unpack what the president said. The Honorable, I'm just prophesying that one day we said that 2027 will be the ones trying to occupy these offices.
2024.
So 2024.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
We have pushed
Exactly.
it. Tumeirudisha hivi. Kwa sababu tunaona.
All right. I must start to thank Beshaba Evans, Charles Omemo, Zelfa Wahito, and Samuel Foro for being part of this discussion to just discuss about what the president did say yesterday in the presidential interview. And of course, this discussion must keep on happening so that we be part of the solution. You've given your sentiments and everybody is entitled to their opinion, as the president said yesterday. So it's a plea really to the president to keep on listening to the young people and to the Kenyans at large, and to see what best can we take this country forward. And I'm also thank the people who have made this production possible, the people in the production, Frederick, Pfizer, Regina, and of course our online viewers who have also made this possible. Thank you so much for supporting this particular production. Let me know your comments on the comment section as what is your feeling in regards to the Finance Bill 2024. The President William Ruto, His Excellency, said that he is welcoming the young people on Twitter space to discuss and have a meaningful discourse in regards to what their grievances, and we're looking forward to see how that unpans. As that continues, we're also receiving reports that the ongoing protest continues tomorrow, and we urge Kenyans to be peaceful and let's take care of our lovely country. Thank you so much for making this discussion happen. My name is Peter Moema. Goodbye for now. I'll see you on the next one.